I am Heather Corbet. I'm an occupational therapist, holistic healer, and certified brain spotting practitioner. I'm also a spiritual advisor, Reiki master teacher, and relationship coach. And I enjoy sharing all modes of healing. And so I also teach a self-development group, teach classes, and also lead retreats. I have over 20 years in the human development and human services field, and I have a background in pediatrics and an expertise in sensory processing and emotional regulation. You can find out more about me at heathercorbetspiritualadvisor.com. So I share this in looking at my background and the extent and the variety of what I have in my background, with the understanding that based on all that I have been able to learn, that the one modality that allows for expedited healing for both myself and my clients at a very deep healing level is brain spotting. And actually, that was my #1 service last year. So with this, as you know, brain spotting was discovered and developed by Dr. David Grant, and it's a neuroexperiential model. It's a physiological approach, and it has psychological, emotional, and physical consequences. So with this, with brain spotting, we are looking to identify and process and release what is no longer necessary in order to improve quality of life and to be able to shift paradigms and perceptions. So with this, looking at the concept of where we look affects how we feel. So with brain spotting, we utilize the visual system in order to access what we need to access in the brain to be able to unravel, to be able to release any of the material that is necessary. So with this, as we're looking at utilizing our visual field, we're able to find that brain spot that then correlates with what we are wanting to release or heal. So with that, oftentimes my clients will come in and they will say, this is my issue, or I have this particular block. So with that, through my guidance, I'm able to assist them, and we together are able to find that brain spot. So that brain spot is then an access point in. And sometimes I also tell my clients that this is the mirror. This is the mirror into where we need to go to be able to access that information and to be able to release it. With this as well, we can look at brain spotting with an understanding that what we are doing is we're bypassing that neocortex. The neocortex is where we analyze, where we think. And so with this, sometimes we overthink. So with brain spotting, we are bypassing that neocortex, and then we're accessing the subcortical. And so with this, we are able to then kind of bypass this neocortex and bypass the thinking, bypass the analyzing to a much more expedited way of processing. So again, with brain spotting, we are bypassing that neocortex. We're accessing the limbic system and the subcortical in order to process what we need to. And with this, in the subcortical, what houses here is sensations, feelings, our intuition, and memories. And so with this, we're able to expedite that healing. So with brain spotting as well, it is a brain-body approach. It is a somatic approach. And so in looking at that, often I will tell my clients, so the brain is talking to the body is talking to the brain. So there are often times that as we are brain spotting, my clients may share that they are also feeling shifts in their body. And so with recognizing that brain spotting is a brain-body approach, this makes a lot of sense. So with that as well, brain spotting is being able to utilize a dual attunement. So attunement meaning that I am in tune with my client and wanting to make sure that I am allowing for myself to hold space for them so that they are able to go to their highest healing. So with this, with the dual attunement, dual means relational and also neurobiological. So relational, just looking at that I am holding space with my client. So trauma becomes trauma because we experienced it alone. So with that relational attunement, we are able to access information, and my client knows that I support them and I'm right there with them. Also with dual attunement, looking at the neurobiological component of that. So in looking at that, then with the neurobiological component, we are able to see that our clients during their process are exhibiting various physiological responses. They may blink, they may blush, they may sigh. And so with that, a lot of times my clients will say, I'm just heating up with this brain spotting. So again, looking back at that, brain is talking to the body is talking to the brain, and it's neurobiological attunement, and recognizing that with that, looking at the physiological responses, I know that my client's brain is processing. I know just by looking at those physiological responses that there is something happening. And so with that, I want to be attuned to that. Also with neurobiological attunement, just recognizing and looking at that when we are holding space, when we are with our clients, that we are also sharing that neurobiology. So I want to make sure that I am staying grounded and very supported in their journey, because my client is borrowing my neurobiology as we are accessing the information. With this as well, there is a great acronym that is very helpful with brain spotting, and it is WAIT. Why am I talking? So looking at that subcortical, very, very, very fast processor. And so with that, there are times that we may not know what's happening in the brain, probably more often than not, right? And so with that, just recognizing that the brain has 1 to 4 quadrillion synaptic connections. And so that subcortical is accessing as much as it possibly can. And so if I'm talking or if I'm interjecting my agenda, I may be interrupting that healing process. So it's really important to remember and to look at that acronym, why am I talking? Just to allow for that highest healing. Also, another concept in brain spotting is to be able to look at following the tail of the comet. So with that, the client is bleeding. The client is allowing for that healing to unfold, and I'm following the tail of the comet, and I'm following my client, and trusting that the client's system, brain, body knows exactly what to do, and trusting that that client is healing right before my eyes. So with following the tail of the comet, then that subcortical can go where it needs to go, and those 1 to 4 quadrillion synaptic connections can reroute, can reintegrate, and to truly allow for high healing. So with this, as well as we're looking at these 1 to 4 quadrillion synaptic connections, I really want to be able to meet my client and meet them at their point of healing, allowing myself to be able to witness that they are going to go where they're going to go, and I want to meet them there. So with this, within brain spotting, I've taken multiple specialty trainings in order to do this, in order to hold the structure, in order to find the setups, in order to have the support that that person needs in order to go to the places that they need to go to for their highest healing. And so I have taken brain spotting in parts work, brain spotting in co-regulating couples, clearing limbic countertransference, generational brain spotting, intersectionality, freeze to thaw, and freeze to thaw, the next level, expansion, and many more. And so with that, again, I just want to make sure that I am able to be the best possible healing conduit for my client. So with that as well, in looking at the specialty trainings and the webinars, the consultation that I've been able to have the opportunity to do, it truly comes down to that the brain spotting community is a village, and it takes a village. It takes a village for healing, and there is so much dedication and so much support within the brain spotting community. So even with my own healing and my own personal work, I have been able to release so much developmental trauma. I've also been able to reroute synaptic connections with my brain spotting in order to assist with the damage that was done through multiple concussions. And it's amazing to me to be able to see all of these doors opening in my mind, in my brain, all of these opportunities that help me to access quote unquote new information. So I knew multiple languages growing up and didn't think I would ever be able to access them again. And there are times that I'm dreaming in these languages. Also, I really enjoy playing piano and singing and a lot of other modalities in music. And so since Brainspotting, that has been able to open up, and just incredible expansive thinking with all of this. So I would absolutely love to support you on your journey and to meet you wherever you are on the healing path. Feel free to reach out.